Ask you if you hear my voice when I come back into the screen.
I think if there's any chance left to get somebody else to replace Trump, which is highly unlikely to be sure, this ought to signal it to people. We've never nominated a convicted felon before, and this is not a good time to start.
You don't actually think there will be a change, do you?
No, but I think people of conscience ought to be thinking about how to approach this. You've heard a lot of criticism of the case on this network. The day the indictment came down, I said if Trump is elected, it could be because of this case. But the fact is, you've had 12 jurors find him guilty. And that is going to reverberate with a lot of Americans who are not part of the Trump base. And it could endanger not only the country if Trump gets elected, it could endanger other Republicans on the ballot in November. So I think
can you hold on, I don't know if you guys hear me now. Hold on a second.
To get somebody else to replace Trump, which is highly unlikely to be sure, this ought to signel it to people. We've never nominated a convicted felon before, and this is not a good time to start.
You don't have, yeah, I'm using Rumble Studio again, and it's been a while, and I like it, but I need to make sure that I know what I'm doing here. Let me expand my screen, and let me just take this awful man's face out for a second. There we go. Look at that. Boom. One bang. Okay. When did this stream start, says Lily America 1? About 43 seconds ago. Okay. So first things first, before we even get into the stream, short notice, Friday afternoon or Friday evening. I had a very frustrating day, but it doesn't matter. These are all the frustrations and struggles of life. I managed to pop on to Eric Hunley with Joe Neerman, Daily Pod with Michael, I forget his last name, Nate Brody. It was good. It was good. And I was struggling. All of the kids are out of school now, which is wonderful. They're out of school for the rest of the summer. This is going to greatly facilitate my ability to have a scheduled stream. Before we get started, so I'm using Rumble Studio again, and I love it. And I'm trying out as well their Rumble live ad reads. So while everyone trickles in, share the link, people, because it was exquisitely short notice, shorter than usual. I went to a Target today, and I saw a guy with a shirt that said "Live Free" on his shirt. I'm like, dude, subscribe. I'm on the good mic. I'm definitely on the good camera. Let me make sure I'm on the good mic. Yep. And the question was this: did you hear me talking? Let me disable the camera and tell me if you hear me when I disable this. So disable camera. Do you hear me now? Let me see if you hear me while I'm talking. Enable camera now. Camera has been enabled. I'm going to talk and just let me know if you hear my voice when I go into disabled mode of the camera. Yes, you can still hear. Okay, good. So I will know that if I have to expel gas, I should mute the microphone like this. And now I'm going to be, oh, nothing just happened. Nice new glasses, Viva. Now, and let me see what they do for the pinning. No, I don't want to pin it. Okay, well, at least I can get it there, and then I can unpin. Nice new glasses. So my concern when I got these, first of all, you go to Stanton Optical. This is not an ad, but you buy one, get one. The only thing is, I don't know if things have gotten so expensive that it doesn't feel like I'm buying one and getting one for free. It feels like I'm paying twice as much for one pair, but they throw in the second pair. But these are, I was concerned with these because they look a little commie, like C-O-M-M-I. And I'm thinking, like, if I just had no facial hair here and short hair, and I said, comrade, I like my new glasses, they might be fishy and suspicious, but so long as I keep the long hair and the facial hair, no one will accuse me of being a commie. Maybe they're going to accuse me of being a hippie. Lenin, FJB. Okay, so now let me just see here how easy if I click on it. So it does not highlight the comment unless I pin it. Let me try something here. Let me see if I pin on a timer, and I put a 1 minute timer on this, and now we're going to see Blake J says, I heard a fart for 1 minute. So everybody, I make a joke that all of my predictions turn out to be wrong, and thus far, that is holding true when it comes to sports and events. When it comes to law stuffs, I will be modest and humble, although some people accuse me of not being, but I will be modest and humble. I've been pretty damn good. I remember the ones that I get wildly wrong, but those typically come to predictions. I got Chauvin wrong, the acquittal, because I'm an idiot. because I actually watched the trial. I actually saw the evidence, and I said, this is how it should result and not how I think it will result. Or I should say, my prediction was what I think should happen, not what I think will happen. And so that might be a bit of my blind spot. So I was wrong on Chauvin. I was right on Rittenhouse, but I don't think there was much disagreement on that. I don't know how thoroughly I committed to my prediction. I was right on Nicholas Sandmann. This goes back a long time. This goes back to when Nate Brody was at under 1,000 subs on YouTube, where I couldn't tag him in a post, where I predicted that Nicholas Sandmann's motion to dismiss, CNN's motion to dismiss was going to be dismissed. And it was granted, but then the judge overrided or overruled or reconsidered his own judgment, dismissing the claim, and it survived on a couple of claims. I was right on this flipping outrageous, outlandish conviction that it's an affront to justice, and it's an affront to the rule of law. Now, we haven't done a live stream on this. Everyone was going batshit crazy yesterday. I don't know who was. We'll all remember where we were when Donald Trump was convicted. 34 felony charges of falsifying documents. We will always and all remember where we were when it happened. I was sitting in my living room on my kid's inflatable gym mat, continually refreshing Twitter like an addict. What a load of crap it is. Yeah, let's put another one up for a minute here. Put this one up for 1 minute. Trump found guilty of being the most based president in U.S. history. I've been having not so much arguments because I haven't really met anybody who thinks that this conviction is anything less than an outrageous political persecution. And I'm in Florida. And so I'm walking around. I see a lot of FJB stickers on cars. I happen to have one on my vehicle. I see a lot of Trump flags being, attached to the back of pickup trucks. I have yet to find anybody who genuinely and sincerely believes that this was a righteous conviction. And I thoroughly believe that even the jackasses on Twitter and on the internet rejoicing in this, like Michael Bolton indirectly there, don't actually believe it's any form of justice, but they love it because it's what they needed for politics. Why do I feel like I'm forgetting something? Oh, that's what I want to see. So we're live on Rumble. See, now I'm just going to go here and make sure that an ad. Okay, so hold on. I'm sorry. Okay, I see another ad on Rumble, which is a good sign. Okay, end this. I'm testing out studio capabilities. So I'm not able to block, not that I would do it, but I'm not able to block anybody from the chat through studio. So let me take my notes because I'm not a guinea pig, but they are going to integrate some questions some improvements. Studio, block, mute from studio. Okay, block, mute, chatters. Okay, so I got to take that as a note. And what was the other thing that I was going to look for? Make sure that we're live on YouTube and we are live on Rumble, which is perfect. I can see the chat. There I am. Boom. Rocket Boy TY on vivabarneslaw.locals.com says, I was reading a Viva post and coming up with a funny way to make fun of his new glasses. Sally Jesse Raphael. Someone said Geraldo Rivera earlier today, but maybe they were talking about the glasses. There's a lot of ways to make fun of the glasses, Rocket Boy. We got musician Michael Bolton. Okay. And I haven't checked that we're live on YouTube. Let me just make sure that, because I don't know if it creates. So one thing now, just go over some of the stuff with Studio. It creates a landing page in Rumble, in Locals, sorry. So it creates a landing page in Locals, and I didn't realize I'm competing with Eric Hunley and Mark Grobert for Laid Back Freeform Friday. Okay, good. So we are here now. Interesting. Hold on, let me see this. Myriad Synonymous with Numerous says, did they really say if the jury convict him on a single charge, they will consider him guilty on every charge? Myriad. I don't know if they said that. I know that here we go. I don't know if the judge said that. If you find him guilty on one charge, you find him guilty on every charge. I said that because it's true. Because who was I having the discussion with? It was, I think it was on Alex Jones yesterday, where these idiots are running around with their 34 felony charge indictment. And It's 34 charges stemming from one act, which is the payment, the alleged, well, it was a payment to Stormy Daniels. The one act, the $130,000, that was structured by way of, let's say, 6 or 8 monthly payments to Michael Cohen. And so there was a check each month, I think 8, 16, 24, maybe a check each month for 8 months, the ledger for 8 months, and the book entry. So the entire scheme was broken down into, if we call it a scheme, and I don't say that judgmentally, it was one $130,000 payment. The reimbursement to Michael Cohen was broken up monthly for 8 months. So if you did find one guilty on one charge, you found him guilty on all of them because they are all part of this purported scheme. The one payment, which was, I was going to make a joke, but I knew how people would respond to it. It's a good thing he didn't repay Stormy Daniels, or it's a good thing he didn't reimburse Michael Cohen $100 a month. I have to do something where I can do the math quickly. Let's just say $1,000 at a time, because then they would have had him down to 130 charge indictment. If he had reimbursed Michael Cohen, hypothetically, $1 at a time, a $1 check here, a $1 entry, well, then he would have had a 130,000 charge indictment. That's how stupid it is. So the question as to how they grossed up the indictment by turning the one reimbursement of $130,000 into 34 felony charges because it was repayment 8 months in a row or 6 months in a row, 6, 12, 18, whatever, you know what I mean? Yeah, if you found him guilty on one aspect, one of those felony indictments, you would necessarily logically have to find him guilty on all of them, because you couldn't say January's reimbursement was felonious reimbursement of the $130,000, but February's wasn't. So that's a long-winded answer to that question. Am I looking at the, looks like the chat has frozen? The chat has frozen. And now let me see here. Donations are not coming up, and I'm not okay, so two things. It looks like chat has frozen, and it looks like the donations are not coming up. Chat frozen. That might be my computer. Donations not coming up. So it's not going to be totally smooth today, people, but I'm going to have to toggle back and forth to vivabarneslaw.locals.com, YouTube. Oh, and we should be live on Twitter at the same time, actually. Let me just make sure that we're live on Twitter as well. And I'm going to test out their RAC, the Rumble Advertising Center, because I think it's freaking amazing, game-changing, revolutionary. You get for those of you who are thinking about this and how Rumble, and I'm not saying this just because I have a contract with Rumble, I do. This is real-time auctioning for content creators who use the studio and who get, basically, you have advertisers who are part of the campaigns, and you can select from any campaign to do any ad read during a live stream. And they tell you how much the CPM is, how much they'll pay you per view. And you can pick the most viewed time of a stream to do an ad read, and you can do multiple ad reads at any given stream. It's wild, it's revolutionary, it's amazing for content creators. So I look at myself and I see that I'm here live on Twitter, Kami Viva with his new Kami glasses, and I do not like the counting on Twitter. It's not accurate counting, it's just counting views in real time, but whatever. Okay, good. So we're live across all platforms, but I'm not seeing the super chats or the tips or the Rumble rants coming up through studio, so they'll have to fix that. Lapco with a $20 rant says, or this is not a rant, this is a super chat. Fun quandary for the neurotic Viva. Go on. If you had to know, would you rather know the year, month, or day of the week you are going to die? Remember, year could be 2087 or 2024, or you could be more worried every May or Tuesday. No, I mean, that's an obvious question. You'd rather know the year, because you would, if knowing the date, you'd rather know the year, obviously, even if it's a devastating thing to know, because why would you torment yourself by wanting to know the day or the month, but not the year? Now, you want to, here, Lapko, you want to know how bloody neurotic I am? Here's a question for you, and this is one I've thought about, very similar to your question. I thought about this a lot over a long period of time. And it relates to, you know, eating meat or enjoying martinis or kayaking in alligator-infested water. If someone told you you would be killed in a plane crash, would you never fly again? I think most people would say yes. If someone told you you'd be killed in a plane crash or a car accident, would you never do either of those two things again? And if someone told you any number of things, at what point would you stop not doing the thing hold on. Have I screwed up my thought experiment here? That doesn't really matter. At what point would you stop doing the thing that you, or the group of things that you knew would likely lead to your death? Because people say like, okay, something's going to kill you someday. Smokers say, smoking's going to kill you. Well, something else might kill me. So I'm going to keep smoking. Or I can't stop. Or red meat's going to cause colorectal cancer. I'm not giving up red meat. Oh, martinis are not good for your liver. I'm not giving up martinis. Oh, Viva, you shouldn't be road biking. It's too dangerous. That was my thought experiment. But now what I got to go. You see, the Rumble rants are all over here. I didn't see these, Lord. Okay, so this is going to be a bit of a meandering stream, but we're going to talk about the judgment, the verdict, the conviction, the bullshit, and I'm going to pull some of the highlights on the internet. Schadenfreude. These Dems are like, oh my God. It's like that meme of the wrestler guy, like, oh God. They're all like, they're happier than Stormy Daniels after a good shoot, if you know what I'm saying. Gross. I didn't even mean that in the double entendre, but now even I want to vomit in my mouth. Lord of the Ree. $5 in Rumble rant says, good afternoon, Viva. Oh, well, here's what I could probably do. I can share the screen here. Okay, so go share screen. Yeah, see, I can do this. That'll be easy enough. Let me see here. No, we're not seeing it because I'm not in presentation mode. There we go. Ugh! Pick a more pleasant face. That's better. Good afternoon, Viva, and the Rumble chat. Not going to lie, I woke up this morning feeling emotionally hungover, but I spent some time in prayer, and God brought me peace. This isn't the end. Hold the line. Not only that, I'll tell you this. Like, I woke up despaired as well, but like not like the crying, screaming lady. It's sad and depressing because people. I mean, there was a video on Twitter. Ian Miles Chong shared it, so I'm not. I don't know Ian from a hole in the wall. I know him from Twitter, but I don't want to retweet something that's either not accurate, taken out of context, or whatever. But there, videos of people dancing that they're so happy. Little videos of people screaming. In joy at the conviction, and it's sad because they're literally cheering on their own demise, and they don't understand it. They're like literally like bathing in water. It's like, oh, this water is so refreshing, and they don't understand that water is spilling out of a hole in the boat, and so that's despairing. But this is, and I'll tell you, it's despairing also because how much further are they going to go? I said on Twitter yesterday, well, they found yet another Rubicon to cross. And somebody, I don't remember who, said, there's only one more Rubicon for them to cross. And we all know what they're talking about. I was going to reply, not like a smartass and say, well, they already crossed that Rubicon with JFK. But, in this context, there's only one more Rubicon for them to cross. And man, I'm having my tinfoil hat theories. I'm having my, not anxiety, but I'm thinking like, how much further are they going to go? And I have these thoughts where I don't want to share them because I do, adhere to, believe in, or find meaning in David Mamet's expression, every fear hides a wish. And there's no wish that they should do this, but I have the thought. A number of people online yesterday saying, patriots, don't be provoked into violence. Don't do something stupid. Don't give them another excuse for a January 6th. We've come to the realm of reality in politics where it's not that they'll punish you too harshly for a crime you do commit. We're in the realm of the world now where they will prosecute you and convict you for a crime you never committed. And so not only is there no benefit to not being bad, there's nothing preventing them from punishing even the good. But that's been true, since the Bible. And above and beyond the fear that some patriot is going to do something stupid is my fear that the deep state is going to say, wow, we don't want Biden on the ballot to begin with. We understand Biden is the biggest liability. He's a demented, senile old fool, a career criminal who might not be able to stand trial for his career crimes because he's senile, demented, and he's a friendly old codger who can't remember the wrong things that he did. Everybody knows that he's a liability, but he can't not be on the ballot. I mean, what the heck do they do then? You can't decide not to, or they can't replace him just like that. How can they get him off the ballot? Well, if you can't provoke a response from the patriots, from the conservatives, from the GOP, from the right, set this framework where then you can stage something of a false flag. Some angry Trump supporter who's following the directions of Trump to fight like hell does something terrible to Joe Biden. And there, what do you have? Two birds with one stone. You get to create another January 6th on steroids, pin it on disgruntled savages of conservatives of the right who react so violently because of the conviction of their of their savior Trump, and then does something stupid or carries out an act on Joe Biden. I mean, if you're going to write a John le Carré novel, man, that's a decent plot. That's my concern. Not that true conservatives, true freedom-loving Americans are going to do something stupid, but that the deep state is going to do something dirty and blame it on them and solve two problems at once. So that was my deep, dark thought that I had, and I didn't like having it. But it's not beyond the realm of the universe. Ginger Ninja Part 1 says, "I'm sorry, Viva. After today, I can't take a single word seriously from Nate. He literally thought the Stormy Daniels payment was only one of the 34 charges. He spouts off facts when he doesn't even do a surface level look into the case. He is therefore disingenuous. This is prima facie propaganda." He admitted he was wrong. And I only heard that after the fact, and I said I told him jokingly, I'm not going to rub it in his face. Period. He admitted he made a mistake. Lord of the Ree says, "Oh, and Viva, I've got some new music on the way, but until then, y'all can check out the rest of my music at Long Walks Music on Rumble. I recommend listening to Wake, as it's probably my favorite." Well, I'll tell you one thing. I won't open anything because I don't want to reveal anybody's home addresses, but I went to the post office. And we've got some mail time. It's going to be beautiful. Okay, so we caught up on the Rumble rants. And then we can go back to YouTube and see what we got going on here. Jaroslav Zaruba says, "When one side decides to abuse the law, how do you handle that in the future? Do you retaliate? Do you play the same rules they ignore? Can a country come back from this, or is it a spiral?" The country can. Let's just avoid the cataclysmic. They do something to Trump in order to spark a civil war, or they do something to Biden to pin it on conservatives, and then they say, "Look, now we get sympathy votes. Whoever we put in the shoes of Biden, you have to vote for them as a matter of civic duty and patriotism," and that's how you get someone as detestable as Kamala Harris or Gavin Newsom. All right, or they do that. Mass violence breaks out because you have the left thinking the right just did something terrible. You have the right accusing the left of having staged it, whatever, or someone does it. And then you have mass violence, and then they don't hold elections. Then they say it's too dangerous to go to the voting booths. I mean, you can see how this goes if you want to write a novel or make an action movie out of it. And it's terrible. But how do you come back from this? You capitalize off of it politically. I mean, how much did Trump raise last night? $34 million? He made... I think I would say, I thought from the news that he raised $34 million in one night. It was so amazing that the campaign donation website crashed. I don't know if as a resident of America, I'm allowed donating to Trump. And I got to make sure not to do anything stupid because I have no doubt there's people out there who are going to accuse like Canadian donates to Trump campaign and he's not allowed. I think as a resident of the United States, I'm allowed. But his campaign website crashed last night because of the influx of traffic and donations. And you want to understand how dirty they're playing and how gross this world is. Chris Pavlovsky, CEO of Rumble, tweeted out something, I'm paraphrasing, but this is, we are fighting evil right now. Google is censoring, and you have to understand that Google, whose motto was once upon a time, don't be evil, is now evil. I've just listened to Chaos, the history of Charles Manson, CIA, LSD in the 60s. I'm now listening to The Great Awakening by Alex Jones. I haven't gotten to the chapter yet. Chapter 5, I'm told I'm gonna like. But Google has always, there's an argument or there's a theory that Google has always been intelligence. It was intended for intelligence gathering to gather all of your data for predictive programming, for spying, for surveillance, for marketing, for advertising, for everything. Collect all of the data of the population. It makes it that much, not just that much easier, it makes it almost a foregone conclusion to manipulate, manufacture consent. You imagine back in the day when Noam Chomsky, before he lost his mind, although I'm told he was always crazy, when he wrote Manufacturing Consent, how not hard, but slow it was to manufacture consent. You had your media, they would write articles, they would cover up, they would spin, they would manipulate public consciousness, and it took time and it was hard and it was done in print and you had to come. It's easy now. When you go to Twitter and you see what are clearly bots or clearly bot farms or clearly paid operatives promoting a narrative, and then other people's like, look how many people believe that this conviction was legitimate. Well, I guess I must believe it too. If you can have all of the data of all of a population, how much easier it will be to do that, especially with the advent of AI. It's wild. But if you had any doubts as to how evil Google actually is, let me just bring this up. Is this I want to bring it up in incognito so we can do this in real time. Chris put out that Google is censoring search results. I've lost my screen here. Hold on a second. That's me. And I said, okay, I trust but verify. So I went to Google. Let me see here. Where is Google? I'm not sharing the screen. This is the sharing screen. Here, look. This is Google, people. Let's just say, what are these search results? Amsterdam Schiphol Airport? I know that I've never looked that up. Dollar Tree 99-cent only stores? No. Balenciaga Under Armour. I once looked up when it was the guy was not Jay. Yay, Kanye. Okay, whatever. Look at this. Let's just do Donald Trump. Comes right up. Okay. Donald Trump news. Let's just see what the results are. Donald Trump news. Oh, yeah, obviously. By the way, just look at this. NBC News. Trump supporters try to dox jurors and post violent threats after. Live. Trump calls trial a scam, vows to appeal. No crap. Live. Trump found guilty. I mean, it's amazing. Okay, but let's go back here. Watch this. Donate to, that's interesting. TR. Trans youth. Oh, that's amazing. Donate to Palestine. I've donate to T. The Lincoln Project. Amazing. Donate to TR. Trans youth. Nope. Donate to truckers. Oh, that's interesting. It's amazing. Nobody's Googling how to donate to Trump right now, right? That's donate to Trump. And there you go. Now let's just do another one, just to do it in real time. Come on, fat fingers. How do I donate? How do I donate to Donald? No, nothing. Amazing. How do I donate to Trump? Nothing. Doesn't even come up. So, total suppression. It's not a clean fight. It's not a fair fight. This is how you manufacture consent or impede people's abilities to do what to think freely. And it gets so much worse. But now, before we even get to how much worse it gets, we're going to do this now. We're going to do this. This is one of the sponsors of the channel anyhow, but this is revolutionary, people. Rumble Advertising Center Rack. It's amazing. You get to pick from the sponsors that you want, and I'm picking the one that I like that I use already. And it is $17.75 coffee. It's time to say goodbye to Starbucks and say hello to Rumble's $17.75 coffee. Unlike other brands, this is a coffee that backs free speech and is unapologetic about it. I love it. They let you swear in their ad reads. Visit 1775.com coffee. Use the promo code STUDIO to get 15% off. Go and do it, by the way. The coffee is delicious. And I say it puts hair on your chest, but I don't have hair on my chest. But if you want to taste your coffee when you drink it, it's the best coffee. The coffee comes in medium and dark roasts. It comes in pea berry, which is similar to Kona coffee. I've had Kona coffee out of Hawaii. It's good as well, but it's the flavor. In other words, this stuff is premium. Click the link in the live chat or the description. You can also go directly to 1775coffee.com and use the promo code STUDIO to get 15% off today. It's delicious. It's fantastic. Let me make sure you do all see the let me see what it looks like, if I may, on Rumble. Got to make sure to keep all this stuff here. Hold on a second. Let me go see what it looks like on Rumble while we're doing this, just so I can make sure that the ad read looks as good as it should. Live. The dog. Do you guys hear my dog whining? Like, she's so flipping annoying. She whines at... Okay, here we go. Trump. I'm live with the thing. I want to see what this looks like. Look at that. Okay, cool. So you see the barcode, you see 1775.com, and you can click on the link. Can you? You can see the QR code is there. Amazing. Oh, and the link is in the pinned comment right now in the chat. That's amazing. That's fantastic. Okay. Beautiful. 1775.com, promo code STUDIO, get 15% off, and go do it so they can actually see that their parallel economy is working. Everybody likes coffee. Everybody likes good coffee. Coffee is sort of like clothing, mugs. Everybody needs it. If you're going to need it and you're going to get good coffee, pesticide-free from the high mountains of Bolivia, from a company that respects free speech, that is partnered with Rumble, and that is a great company. 1775.com, 7075coffee.com. Booyah. And now I click complete, and it is done. Magnificent. This is not a pay. Well, I'm exclusive with Rumble, but this is amazing what they've done in terms of allowing content creators to monetize their content easily in real time. Okay, let's get to how dirty it is, people. It's not just that Google, that we, who was it? Okay, no, it's Zuckerberg is Facebook. Wait a minute, hold on a second. Zuckerberg is Facebook. Musk is Twitter, obviously. Who's Google? Who's the face behind Google? It doesn't really matter. They were doing it in 2020, suppressing information to steer the election. They're doing it right now in real time. All you have to do is go do the experiment yourself and ask yourself, is nobody Googling how to donate to Donald Trump? I can tell you, based on a chat that I just saw in the Rumble section, people are. And some people are incapable of donating to Trump because they live in a jurisdiction where they can't, or they're not residents. Now, let me just see here. We got Denise Antu. David, now try using Yandex search engine. It's a Russian-based search engine, but so much less oppressive than Google. I mean, DuckDuckGo is still, we know that they have their own problems because of what they did earlier, but Yandex, I've never heard of it. Actually, I feel kind of stupid. Why do I not know of it? Lord of the Reese says, hey, Wildchild63, I just donated $50 to Trump in your honor. When he wins in November, I'll ask the Commie Deportation Service to take it easy on you. That's funny. Okay. The dirtiness of what they're doing is beyond the pale. I said this from the beginning. It was not a revolutionary prediction. It's basic strategy. They needed it just so they could repeat the headline for the next 6 months, knowing, in as much as you can ever predict anything in law, that this will be overturned on appeal if it's not rendered academic moot, overturned by the immunity ruling that's going to come out of SCOTUS. This might be the biggest kick in the nuts that SCOTUS ever needed to say, holy shit, we had better come down with an immunity ruling that was even more broad than what we were anticipating. Because now we see what these rogue, corrupt, partisan, Soros-funded DAs are going to do unless we give a broad, expansive, robust immunity to former presidents. And if you have any doubts any longer as to whether or not this is Soros-funded, Soros-directed, did y'all see this tweet? I'm saying y'all now because there was another tweet where they're like, oh, now y'all going to storm Rikers? And this guy wrote, and it's like, y'all now support political persecutions? Y'all now are not interested in criminal justice reform? We'll get there. This is literally a tweet from one Alex Soros. For those of you who don't know who Alex Soros is, he is the son of George Soros. For those of you who don't know who George Soros is, he is the man who indirectly, and I'll call it indirectly, although it's quite directly, funded Alvin Bragg. How did he fund Alvin Bragg? By contributing, I think it was $1 million to Color of Change or Season of Change. I think it was Color for Change or Color of Change, who then robustly supported Alvin Bragg's election. I'm scratching my leg. It's conspiracy theory. George Soros isn't funding DAs, progressive DAs, to undermine the rule of law across America. Kim Gardner, or is it Kim Fox? Kim Gardner, the McCloskey one there. And I have an even more sinister as to who's being used as these props, because it's going to drive a racial divide in America as well, a racial religious divide in America. But George Soros isn't funding anybody. Oh, okay, fine. He's funding a political action committee, and they don't. Oh, well, that's not him. He doesn't sign the check. No shit, because that's not how it works. He's funding them. And you got the people saying he's not funding them, but it's good that he is. Well, let's just see what his son had to say here. George Soros' son, Alex Soros, says what I said they were going to say. I mean, he's saying what I said they were going to say. And, some people said, no, Viva, that's conspiracy theory. This is just about law and order. Democrats should refer to Trump as a convicted felon at every opportunity. Repetition is the key to successful message. Repetition is my job. It's my job to be repetitive. Being repetitive is my job. That's a Simpsons reference. I've already referenced it, so repeating that. Repetition is the key to a successful message. It's also the key to a cult. The night time is the right time. The leader is good. The leader is great. We surrender our will as of this date. Repetition is the key to a successful message, and we want people to wrestle with the notion of hiring a convicted felon for the most important job in the country. That's George Soros' son right there, giving the messaging direction to the media right now. It's not backdoor meetings with briefcases full of cash type corruption. It's in your face, in real time. They're saying it out loud. So that's what Soros' son has to say. Go repeat the message. Say it over and over again so that these nincompoop, low information voters can say, do we really want to elect a convicted felon? I mean, when we compare it to all the other presidents that we've ever had, can I go reference my own amazing tweets? I'm going to anyhow. Let's see here. Yeah. No. Lincoln Project free. Whatever. I said, look, can we elect it? Can we elect a convicted felon? You had, as a president, George Bush, who, with the help of Dick Cheney, was responsible for the death of at least 500,000 innocent Iraqis based on a war that was based on a lie. Bill Clinton bombed an aspirin factory, a medical facility in Sudan, and I believe they knew what it was when they bombed it. Obama, who won a Nobel Peace Prize before doing jack shit. By the way, you know who else won a Nobel Peace Prize? Yasser Arafat. Obama wins a Nobel Peace Prize, takes office. I mean, the things that Obama did, I had to narrow it down for the tweet, but I said, look, George W. Bush kills 500,000 innocent Iraqis based on a lie. That's fine. Bill Clinton bombs a Sudanese medical facility. That's fine. Forget the BJ, forget all the other sexual stuff. Take the worst. Obama illegally runs guns to the Mexican cartel, results in a border agent getting murdered, defies congressional subpoenas, sicks the IRS on his political rivals. That's fine. Joe Biden is accused by his own daughter of potentially having molested her. He is credibly accused of having sexually assaulted Tara Reid. And Trump gets convicted for felony charges for falsifying documents as relates to a payment that was otherwise lawful and legal. And now these idiot Alex Soros, who's going to confirm a number of other theories, who's going to further a number of other divides as to who is interfering with American politics to the detriment of these United States of America, comes out and says, repeat it, because repetition is good. And repetition is how you convince your cult members of a message. Repeat, isolate, and force them to dissociate or force them to break off from friends, family, and don't get the information yourself, get it from us. And it gets worse. I mean, I have so many things on the backdrop that it's... there's a video going around that, I mean, it made the rounds. And I saw the video, and I literally thought the video was fake. Remember, everybody, it's not happening, but it's good that it is. This is not a politically motivated persecution. This is not the Biden's Department of Justice led persecution, although there was some severe collaboration between the DOJ and the New York prosecution, much like there was collaboration between the Biden administration and the RICO prosecution. It's not a politically motivated Biden DOJ persecution, but it's good that it is because it's dark Brandon. This is coming courtesy of the Lincoln Project. Listen to this.
Donald Trump refers to himself as a political prisoner and blames you directly. What's your response to that, sir? Do you think the conviction will have an impact on the campaign? We'd love to hear your thoughts, sir.
Should he be on the ballot?
First things first, the left cannot meme. They cannot meme because they do not have senses of humor, because they're arrogant, pompous pricks with no insight, no self-reflection, no ability to be self-deprecating. And they cannot meme. They're fundamentally unfunny. There's some that are funny. And the ones that are funny become unfunny the more capital L liberal, capital D Democrat they get. Sarah Silverman being prime example number one. So that's the Lincoln Project. Let me just see what the message with that tweet was. Dark Brandon alert. Reveling. They're not denying that it's a Biden DOJ, Biden administration persecution. Now he's a badass. He's a badass prick.
Do you think the conviction will have an impact on the campaign? We'd love to hear your thoughts.
Okay, yeah, we'd like to hear your thoughts. I'm going to play you the unedited video. I see that video because it was started going viral, and I'm like, no, this can't be real. That question has to be someone audio overlaid it to make it into something memeable. And so I had to go find where the actual video came from to make sure that I'm not sharing something that's inaccurate. Yeah, look at this. So I went and it was from his presser today because he's, you look around. This is a bit of a longer clip and I'm going to keep it because it's relevant for something else. This is what he actually said. It's real, people.
They should take this deal, work to make it real, make it lasting, and forge a better future out of the tragic terror attack and war. It's time to begin this new stage. For the hostages to come home, for Israel to be secure,
The hostages
for
to
the
come.
suffering to
I'm not getting
stop.
into this.
It's time for this war to end, for the day after to begin.
Oh,
Thank you very much.
I read my line real
Mr.
good. Listen,
President, can you tell us, sir, Donald Trump refers to himself as a political prisoner and blames you directly. What's your response to that, sir? Do you think the conviction will have an impact on the campaign? We'd love to hear your thoughts, sir.
Should he be on the ballot, sir?
can you believe it? And then it plays out. It was a real video. Hold on. I actually just got to put it back because it's the face of evil. I mean, I use that word more often than I've ever used it in my life. Look at this. This is like he thinks he's Zach Galifianakis in that meme. He thinks he's Jack Nicholson. Like, we did it. And they get the dramatic zoom. Yeah. What are you gonna do about it, bitches? Yeah, I'm screwing democracy. And y'all can't do anything about it. I'm going to rub it in your face. He blames you for this political persecution. Do you have any thoughts about this?
As a political prisoner and blames you directly. What's your response to that, sir?
You can't do a goddamn thing about it.
Do you think the conviction will have an impact on the campaign?
By the way, if someone wants to do like a good meme over, let me just put the volume down. How about if you say like, Sir, Mr. Biden, what do you have to say about your daughter alleging that you molested her and took improper showers with her when she was a kid? That's what the meme should be. Someone's going to do it. Someone's already done it. I would have done it, but it's not my humor. But I guess I just did it. Like, here, hold on. Let's do another one here. Let's just do another one here. Okay, hold on. This time for. Sir, Mr. Biden, many people have alleged that you have crapped your pants multiple times over the last little while. What do you have to say to them? That one might be the best. Oh, I'm going to keep this out in the backdrop for a second because I want to compare it to something else.
Thoughts, sir?
Should he be on the ballot?
That's actually, that was pretty funny even for me. Biden posted a clip of this, an extract from this a little bit of time ago, but hold on, I want to play this because it's actually kind of interesting. I looked at it, I was like, oh, that seems edited. You know when you see those Biden posting highlights of himself, and I say, oh, they couldn't even get through 30 seconds. This is a 6-second clip, and you'll tell me, what do you notice? I was going to do this on Twitter, like, watch this clip and what do you notice? But I'm not doing any of that crap. Listen to this.
It's time for this war to end, for the day after to begin. It's time for this war to end, for the day after to begin.
What do you notice?
It's time for this war to end,
But
for the day after
to begin.
to begin.
There's a rhythm. But
It's time for this war to end, for the day after to begin.
so you notice it's rhythmic. There's cadence. There's not some awkward, senile, demented pause. And I'm like, I don't remember it happening that way. Let's just go back to the original, unedited, that I had pulled up, and it's right here. Listen to this.
Time for this war to end.
1, 2, 3.
For the
4.
day after to begin.
Let's just watch one more time.
For the day after. For the day this war to end.
This is how long
Suffering to stop. It's time for this war to end. For the day after to begin.
They post a 6-second clip of what they think is his most inspiring highlight, and they have to edit it out because of his demented 4-second, 3-second pause in between. Oh. So that's it. That's part of it, at least. I don't think I'll give you the clip in case anybody doesn't actually believe they did this. Can I chat from within? Live chat. Now, there's also no way for me to chat from within. Hold on. Can't chat from within. Okay, I'm going to add that here. I'll give everybody the link on all platforms here. Bada bing, bada boom. There's a link to the tweet if anybody wants it. Viva is on fire, says Shala Rikwan. That was kind of a funny joke, actually. Now let me go see what's going on here because the super chats are not coming in. Share screen, take some questions, take some crumble rants. Denise Antu, Trump was literally helping to ensure peace in the Middle East and didn't get a Nobel Award, but Obama did. That tells you all you need to know. Reverend Kane from Poltergeist 2. Jacker, that was from Copper Top 3. Jake V says, Viva, love the show, man. Keep speaking the truth. If you're ever in Houston, stop by and we can cruise Galveston Bay in my blue wave chasing reds. Dude, I don't understand a word you just said. I'm going to have to go Google what a blue wave is because I assume it's a boat. And I don't know what reds are. Oh, reds, redfish, maybe redfins. To be fair, I can't Google donate to Joe Biden or donate to Democrats either, says Sammy. That might be because nobody's actually looking to it. Okay, now I can take that out of here. And let me see what's going on in stop screen. Let me see what's going on in vivabarneslaw.locals.com. We got some tips. Bill Brown, $5 says, I can't agree with Barnes when he says Biden is a criminal mastermind. I say he's so dumb, he's bringing down the whole house of cards with he and his son. Well, he's not a brilliant mastermind anymore. And right now he's revealing what he might have been sharp enough to hide for the last 30 years. I think he was a leading criminal activity for sure. The Great Bambino, $5 says, we all appreciate accurate info. The Google recommended results do indeed block donate to Trump, but it also blocks donate to Biden. No, the Great Bambino, I think it should auto-generate based on interest as to who's looking it up at any given time. So I think the fact, let me just go do it not in incognito, because Google, donate to Biden. Biden doesn't come up. Donate to Trump doesn't come up. The question is, though, donate to Palestine comes up. How about to Trudeau? Yeah, donate to the Trudeau Foundation. Then it starts auto-populating after you put in the D. That's wild. No, it is overtly blocking what people are actually looking up right now. That's how the recommended results work, as far as I understand. I might be wrong, but I don't think I am. Stu_P_Dassel says, can anyone explain why there are no riots going on now? The left riots over everything. So was January 6th really Trump supporters protesting? No, it wasn't. It was a Fedsurrection. Absolutely. Roostek says, last night Barnes came up with the phrase, keep crying, commies. May be good for a t-shirt. Yes. Just don't spell it all with K's. It's going to be keep crying, commies, the way the words are intended to be spelled. And Finboy Slick, all right, everybody knows this. This is classic. Rapist glasses. Feeling a little bad boy. If you don't know who this is John Lajoie, who was once upon a time funny. Trump derangement syndrome and the regressive progressivism of the liberal mind thought has made him unfunny. John Lajoie was from Longueuil, south of Montreal. Rapist glasses. Look it up. It's funny. Even if you don't find that type of humor funny, it's funny. And his normal guy rap, I'm just an everyday normal guy. I get uncomfortable in social situations, motherfucker. It's funny. He's got a bunch of funny stuff, but it's all 10 years old. 10 years old and more. Okay. Oh, there was another Rumble rant in there. Let's see this here. Congrats, Viva. You fled communist Canada just in time to fall of the U.S. into another communist haven. Democracy is dead, says Ganthet. We're not there yet, and I refuse to believe that. We've got time, and people will vote on November 5th. Figured it out. I met a couple from Oregon last month who moved to Las Vegas. They were longtime Democrats and told me they would never vote Democrat again, says Lily. America won. But we're not done. We're not done talking about this stuff yet, people. Now, I'm going back to the Rumble Advertising Center because I want to see what this is. I want to read a company and see if I want to get if it's a company that I want to sponsor. We'll see. I'm gonna pick one that I have not yet used before just to see how it works. What am I going to do right now, people? I'm going to go bring up some more stuff that I have in the backdrop. It's and I said this yesterday. It's like, you want to know how much this was an operation? This was a deep state operation. There's everyone involved in that political persecution out of New York is an operative. Everybody involved in the Rico, Georgia prosecution is an operative. Everyone involved in the nipple judge, that's Leticia James, operative. Everyone involved in the E. Jean Carroll was an operative. And here we've got operative on operative self-gratification. E. Jean Carroll. You may remember her from such, as far as I'm concerned, in my humble opinion, fabricated sexual assault accusations. You may remember her from the Bergdorf changing room. The woman who thinks rape is sexy and has a cat named Vagina T. Fireball and who loves Donald Trump and talked about how she learned everything she needs to know about sex from her dogs by watching the female chase the male around, or someone chase the female until the female was exhausted and they could have sex. That E. Jean Carroll, who fabricated a 25-year-old sexual assault allegation against Donald Trump, and fortunately enough, was also instrumental in changing the law that would allow her to sue civilly for that otherwise time-barred civil claim. She's complimenting. What's her name? Stormy Daniels. Now, I'm zooming in. I'm not zooming in on the chest, people. I'm zooming in on the tattoo on her arm, because if I'm not seeing things, that's a satanic person right there, right? You got an angel on the shoulder. She's holding a skull of a bird. She's got a snake around her neck, and two horns coming out of her head. So you got one psycho, senile, as far as I'm concerned, fabricator of nonsense, complimenting another lying porn star with apparent ties to Satanism. I don't know what is that tattoo, but if anybody knows, let me know. That's how you know this is totally not an operation. I mean, the operatives are out there stroking each other's egos, to put it grossly. Oh. And then I'll just pull up a couple more highlights here because sorry, that was my bad. I want to go share screen. There's so many. There's so many. Here's another one. I mean, just the hypocrisy. NAACP. For those of you who don't know what the NAACP is, it is the, what does it stand for? Like national? Hold on. I don't want to make a mistake, and I certainly don't want to get canceled. NAACP acronym. What does it stand for? The National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. The NAACP is also having their proverbial, political lynch mob orgasm over this conviction. Where did the thing go? I can't find this in the backdrop here. There it is. Okay, it's right here. They're having their orgasm. Oh, guilty. It's like when Harry met Sally. Oh, God, guilty. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I can do this. 16, 20, 24, 28, 32. Guilty. Oh, is that as good for you as it was for me when you violated the Constitution, NAACP? All of a sudden, the NAACP, they don't care about political persecutions. They don't care about prejudiced jury pools, to which I had to say to them, do Martin Luther King, do Muhammad Ali, do Ronnie Long, by the way, spent 43 or 34 years in jail after being wrongly convicted on racially prejudiced, but he was found guilty. Hey, the system worked for them, right? No. Anyhow, that's it. I mean, I had to stop at some point because it's just, it will go on forever. Quite literally, but guilty, and they are literally, it's orgiastic glee, and it's not, as Gad Saad calls it, suicidal empathy. This is like homicidal partisanship. They fancy themselves the heroes in their own story. There was another one. Is this? Oh, no, I hear hold on. I hear Joe Biden somewhere, and I don't know where it's playing from. Okay, it was playing from Twitter. There was another one here. Which one was this? I didn't take good enough notes. Let me see here. Lurid, is this one? Norm Eisen says breaking Slate reporting. Oh, this this is. We'll get the. Well, we're on it. Yesterday, before they were sure there was going to be a conviction, although they probably knew. Did you notice how they were? There's a few other stories they were pushing real hard while we were waiting for the conviction. They started pushing the SCOTUS is compromised. Alito, his wife flew a flag upside down. I forget who the other conservative justice was. This is after having come off their proverbial persecution of Clarence Thomas. Joe Biden wasn't done with him back in what did Clarence Thomas call it? A digital lynching back in the day. Joe Biden wasn't done with Clarence Thomas, 30 years ago when they fabricated potentially another sex scandal. Clarence Thomas, as he was ascending to the Supreme Court, they weren't done with him then. They came back, all sorts of attacks and whatnot. Then they went after Alito. They were astroturfing the terrain for SCOTUS judges are corrupt. That was one narrative that was running yesterday and the day before. The other one, as we're waiting for conviction, or as the jury was told to deliberate until they convict. The other story, now the grab him by the pussy video. Now there's a Trump using the N-word. Breaking Slate reporting there is another tape like Access Hollywood, but this time it's Trump using the N-word. Holy shit, people. Alex Jones comes out and says they use the same trick over and over again. You're not predicting the future. You're just reviewing the past. Do you understand? Brett Kavanaugh, sex allegations from 30 years ago. Clarence Thomas, when they were swearing him in, confirmation hearings, sex allegations. Who's the other one that had sex allegations just come up recently? I can't, there's too many. Grab him by the pee-pee. Grab him by the poo-poo. Poo-nanny. Grab him by the poo-nanny video. Hey, what do we do? Oh, no. Get him with the N-word now. We'll get him with the N-word. Okay. To this I say, what did I say? This shocks no one and will make him even more attractive to his base. And I don't know what this emoji is supposed to mean, but was there anything? You know what I say to that? It's bullshit. And you know how I can tell you it's bullshit? Because it's repeating a pattern of the past. And if that tape existed, whether or not that individual who's allegedly at the source of that claim had a 20-year NDA, that video would have leaked. Guaranteed. They run Supreme Court justices are partisan because they know that immunity decision is coming down. Then they run Trump with the N-word tape. That's going to come out. It's going to sink him. And then they convict him. And now they'll drop that one. Now they're just going to go convicted felon, convicted felon, convicted felon. And it's past his prologue. Now, this is going to be good. Let's see this here. This is Michael Knowles who put out this video. I haven't watched it yet, so let's all enjoy this together with a little bit of commentary.
This was done by the Biden administration in order to wound or hurt an opponent, a political opponent.
Flash to the video.
Mr. President,
there you go.
Can you
Amazing.
tell us, sir,
put together
Donald
quickly.
Trump refers to himself as a political prisoner and blames you directly. What's your response to that, sir?
Give him Satan eyes. It's such a perverted smile. Like that is the face that you would wake up to. I won't say what I was about to say. Wait for them. Text Trump to 8003.
This was done by
Wait until they try to make this a claim that this is some form of call to violence or whatever. That's good enough. Okay, people, let's try this again. Using the rack. I mean, this is going to. Let me see something here. Completed. Okay, interesting. We're not doing another read, so this is very cool. Accepting the right. Okay, good, done. People, well, no, we're not done yet, by the way, but we might have a bit of an after party up on Locals. What do I have in the backdrop here? Oh, sorry. And you know when they say like this is a distraction, why did it take 2 days for the jury to deliberate? How did it take 2 days? There was something interesting that slipped under the radar yesterday, and some of you may or may not have noticed in terms of very important, very meaningful news. And it's not nothing. By the way, best t-shirt idea I have seen. Don't assume my party. I identify as non-binary. Not bad. There was another super chat. Oh, let me see if I can get the super chats here. Okay, hold on. I'll get the super chats. Everything that Trump made great for America, Biden has destroyed. All of it. 34 count of lies, but it's okay for all illegals pour into the USA and give billions to Ukraine of taxpayer money. That is from Freedom, $9.99. People are not stupid, and they're seeing it now. That was John S. who had the idea for the T-shirt. We got President Trump won by a landslide in 2020, and Biden knows it. And Supreme Court refused to see the actual evidence. Wake up, USA and liberal deniers. That is from Freedom as well. Well, the Supreme Court has the capacity now to come down with a robust immunity finding. The NAACP once gave Donald Trump a medal before he became president. he used to donate to Jesse Jackson's campaign fund. Was it the NAACP that gave him the Ellis Island Award back in the mid 80s? NAACP, Ellis. I don't know if they're related. Ellis Island, Trump. I know Trump got the Ellis Island Medal of Honor, 1986, but I don't know if the NAACP had anything to do with that. Either way, it's the hypocrisy is astounding. There's no question about it. But the news that slipped under the radar yesterday, and it's not nothing by any means, is this: as the internet was on fire with what some people might call a distraction, because it'll get overturned in appeal. For the time being, it just gives headlines, yada yada yada. For the time being, it gave a distraction from what could very well and very easily lead us into run a real and meaningful risk of walking us into World War III, or I should say, bombing us into World War III. This is from Politico. Biden's secret. This is from yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. May 30th. Yep, yesterday. What time is it at? 6:17 p.m. Right at the time the internet was on fire with Trump conviction. The world was on fire. Ukraine was on fire with this. Biden secretly gave Ukraine permission to strike inside Russia with U.S. weapons. Remember when Mr. Penguin Nadler said, we can't control what they do with it, and turnabout's fair game, right? In war, even though it would be the crossing of another red line that they said they wouldn't cross. They wouldn't give them certain types of weapons. They gave them. They wouldn't give them certain types of tanks. They gave it to them. They won't let them use their weapons in Russia. We can't tell them what to do with the weapons once we give them to them. If this happens, that's how you spark World War III. It's a major reversal that will help Ukraine to better defend its second largest city. It's a major reversal that will help sink the war into nuclear war, World War III. Unbelievable spin from these effing hacks. It's another turnaround on the red line that Biden said he would not cross. The Biden administration has quietly given Ukraine permission to strike inside Russia solely near just a little incursion. Solely near Kiev. Hold on a second, I just lost my page there. Kharkiv, sorry, solely near the area of Kharkiv, using U.S. provided weapons. 3 officials have confirmed. Yada yada yada. In a major reversal that will help Ukraine better defend itself and help the world more quickly approach World War III, and then maybe Biden will do what Zelensky did and suspend elections. Who knows? Nothing is beyond the demonic level of these people. The president recently directed his team to ensure that Ukraine is able to use weapons for counter-fire purposes in Ukraine, so Ukraine can hit back at Russian forces, hitting them or preparing to hit them, one official said, adding that the policy of not allowing long-range strike inside Moscow has not changed. It hasn't changed, but it's changed. It hasn't changed, but it's changed, and it's good that it's changed. Anyways, that was big news. And it's not nothing. Ukraine asked the U.S. to make this policy change only after Russia's offensive in Kharkiv began last month. The official said all people were granted anonymity to discuss internal decisions that haven't been announced. Can you imagine what happens? Yeah, just another small change. We're going to let you bomb inside of Russia with U.S.-made weapons, U.S.-provided weapons. And this proxy war could quick turn into a not-so-proxy war. So that's it. Did anyone have any questions? In as much as I can potentially attempt to answer questions, not even only super chats. Let me just see in the chat. I like the glasses. That just disappeared. I don't know who said that. The Russia-Ukraine thing really is looking like Zelensky's fault, says Dave Suchi. Then we got Trump X states. Well, okay, I won't read all. The Rumble link. No, what we're going to do now is we're going to go over to vivabarneslaw.locals.com, and I'm going to give everybody that link. We're going to have our after party at Locals, because I think when I end this on Locals, come on over to Locals. You do not have to be a paying member to enjoy a ton of the free stuff, although I think Stuart Rabbit says, what's for dinner? I don't know. I know my wife is making it, but I'm going to go and probably help out afterwards. I think we're going to see on Studio if when we end on all the platforms except Locals, if it goes to supporters only on Locals. And I think it might, because that's one of the features or one of the, what's the word I'm looking for? That's how they've designed Rumble Studio. So I'll see if they've changed that or if it's still the same. Let me make sure that I haven't forgotten anything, and we'll see if we can get some questions here. In Rumble, I donated to Trump, says Buckle Brush. Then we got Copper Top 3 says, that tat on the harlot, Stormy is the satanic dominating female. Okay, hold on. Let me bring this up so people can actually see this. I don't know anything about this or tats for that matter. I do not have a tattoo yet. That tat on the harlot, Stormy, is the satanic dominating female. Both the Old and New Testament speak of effeminate males and how an ungodly woman will try to dominate a man. Abomination to God. It's an interesting choice of tattoos. Let me see something here. If I maximize this, we're still in here, so I can get some of the Rumble chat. Good. I'm trying to read something. Ukraine should have gone to the peace table effing months ago. They did it to themselves. F Ukraine. Some might say it was Boris Johnson who did it to Ukraine. And, you know, they were told they could win a war that, by all accounts, everybody, or at least the people who were right, knew from the beginning. So, yeah, that's it. Okay, so now I'm going to take that out, and I'm going to see if I didn't have anything more in the backdrop that we wanted to get to. I got the letter from Justice Alito responding to the upside down flag bins. Maybe we can go over it on vivabarneslaw.locals.com. And no, we've done it, people. So in Rumble, let's go to the Rumble chat. Any questions in YouTube? Let's see what we got in the chat here. John S. $20 says Stormy claimed on an old Bill Maher clip to not be a victim. Then during trial, she said her hands were shaking. She felt like she was drugged at the prospect of sexing DJT. Then an NBC reporter said she looked like a nun in black. John S., I think I actually clipped that back a couple weeks ago. Oh, because yeah, she's just a liar. She said she wasn't a victim. She there was a, you know, she wouldn't even say who it was. I think no, that might have been SpongeBob or a Love Sponge, whatever the Love Sponge guy. Wasn't a victim. Then on the stand, I blacked out. I felt like I was drugged. Objection. Damage done. Outrageous. The whole trial was an absolute outrage, and anybody who says it wasn't is an idiot. Is part of the operation. Rumble is growing on me, says Comet. Good. That's from YouTube. You should be over in Rumble. Yes, Rumble is much better, says Starson. You all should be in Rumble because I'm reading that from the YouTube chat. Let's go to the Rumble chat, and I'll bring it up so we can see the screen as well. Here. Bada bing, bada boom. Bubba the Love Sponge, you should do Ho's show. I don't know what that is. I know who Bubba the Love Sponge is, only because of what I saw from Howard Stern. I will not fly my flag upside down. I refuse to give them the win. I don't have my American flag Crocs here, but I've been wearing American flag Crocs. Okay, I think that's it. What we're going to do now, so we're going to end this. Sunday show is coming up. I'm going to Orlando, going tomorrow. I'm going to leave early for the Rebel Capitalist. I'm not sure how much I'm going to get to attend of it, but I'm going to see Barnes. Barnes is speaking tomorrow. So head up there for the Rebel Capitalist. I think I might be on a panel at one point in time, and then back home for the Sunday show. Or maybe we're going to do it on the road. We'll see. Sunday show is going to happen. Let me see what's going on. I'm going to save the vivabarneslaw.locals.com. Okay, I'm not. Bill Brown took out some food, and Bill Brown is posting pictures of Templeton, which you haven't seen. You should see it. There's a picture of, it looks like me and Barnes as a married couple from Finboy Slick. It says, Barnes for president, Vivania for first lady. Viva, note the 1975 reference. It explains a lot of the ignorance we are seeing in the media from our universities. Let me bring this up here. Here, let's bring this up for everybody. Stop screen. Bring up vivabarneslaw.locals.com. One thought scares me. We teach our children what we would wish them to know. We don't teach our children what we don't wish them to know. Richard Dreyfuss. Okay. We teach our children what we wish them to know. We don't teach our children what we don't wish them to know. All of us have the power defined in the Constitution, and that is what has been taken from us. If you graduated from high school any time approximately between 1975 and today, participatory citizenship was no longer among the goals you had been taught to perpetuate our revolutionary idea. If you graduated from high school anytime approximately between 1975 and today, participatory citizenship was no longer among the goals you had been taught to perpetuate our revolutionary idea. You are therefore different from the generations that came before you, because those generations knew the achievement of the Constitution and the Bill of Rights were not an accident of history. It was the acknowledged intention of those who invented America. Although it took some time for the national and local governments to recognize the obligation to pass it on, by the early 20th century, American students in public schools began a superb civic education. They studied the Constitution, the circumstances that created it, and the supporting materials needed to comprehend it. They were taught enough to know enough to participate in running the government and the society our founding documents created. And all this was part of the earliest public school grades, not kept until the end of high school or withheld until university. It was taught as a method in all classes, from science to history, and from as many angles as possible. We learned civics before we knew we were learning civics. Oh, that I hadn't brought that up. Damn it. That's annoying because I had it here. See, and I have to go to presentation to show it. Okay, well, this is it. I'll put it up here so people can pause and look at it. And while everyone pauses and looks at it, I'm going to give everyone the link to vivabarneslaw.locals.com. Ah, there's one more Rumble rant, and it's a purple one. I know who that is. Biltong is in the house. Good afternoon from Anton's Meat and Eat. Free shipping for your biltong using code VIVA on Biltong USA, BILTONG USA.com, and Anton USA, ANTONS USA. Biltong is the perfect for your carnivore, keto, high protein diet. It's amazing, the Biltong stuff. It's like wet beef jerky or soft beef jerky. Come on over to Locals because I got to go get to the family soon. We're going to have our Locals after party. Everybody, Sunday night show. I'll see you soon. I might do a quick talkie vlog. We'll see, cover another topic before the end of the night, but it's getting a little late and I should probably get back to parenting, babysitting. No, I'm joking. No, I'm not babysitting. I went for a good bike ride with my kid today. And what else did I do today? Got frustrated with a bunch of stuff. It doesn't matter. Okay. I'm going to end it and I'm going to see how this works. So we're going to end on Rumble and Locals. Locals, it only has local supporters only. If you want to come over and support the work that we do at Locals, feel free. Otherwise, you could become a member and just partake in a bunch of stuff that's out there for everyone. vivabarneslaw.locals.com. If you want to get some merch, and I'm going to put up some new designs because I have some good ideas, vivafry.com. That's the website. And what else is there? Let me make sure I'm not missing anything. I got the Rumble rants. Let me go to the tips here. We got a couple tips. I love the new glasses video because I got that one. And then we got Bill Brown with it looks like it could be drugs, but it's actually meat, which I guess is in a way is kind of like drugs. Roostang, are you going to do a video with George Gammon when he turns the tables on you and beats you at bowling? It's not going to happen. But now that you mention it, we do have to go bowling. I gotta go book a hotel. Okay, I gotta do a bunch of things. I'm way behind. We're going to end it, everybody. I'll see you Sunday. Rumble, YouTube, thank you for being here. Be sure to like, share, subscribe, share the channel, please, if you don't mind. Before you leave, hit the thumbs up, drop a comment, share, snip, clip, spread the word. It helps. And other than that, we are going to end on everything but Locals. So I'm going to go Local supporters and update stream. And I will see all of you Sunday, if not earlier. Peace out, peeps.